Going back in time is not what you need. You do not need to go back to your past to pick up anything unless it's lessons. And even then, it's some lessons that have expired. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Lovely Joy Podcast. I almost couldn't get it out, but I'm Coco. And I'm just talking today. I was thinking about a lot of things, and I'm always thinking, not really, but this is just daily life when things come up and all of a sudden it puts a thought or something in your mind. And last night, I was talking with a couple of people last night, and I was reminded that my past is a past for a reason. Like exes are exes for a reason, and that includes situationships and even entanglements that we may have gotten into along the way. If it's in the past, that's where it needs to stay. Because it's nothing that it can do for the future right now. If you're trying to be better than what you were, you don't need that. And I was like, at one moment, I was smiling really hard about how great certain parts of my past was. People that I had met, people I had little entanglements with. And, it made me smile. But then it almost made me cry because I got to thinking, out of this whole 10 years, nobody that I dealt with really checked on me to see if I was okay, except for one person. I mean, the one person did. He really stuck by me the last 10 years. He was really there. But he was there as a friend, but as romantic interest, he spoiled the friendship because the romance side was jacked up. So, but we still friends though. But what I'm saying is the past has its place. And even though we had all those good times, those good nights, my needs are not the same now as they was back then. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Is that a sister needs is not the same. I needed to get back. Back then, 10 years ago, I was trying to get back at my ex for what he had done to me. So, yeah, I was out there talking to these guys, hitting the chat lines and all that stuff. And these guys made me feel like... What did they make me feel like? Oh, they made me feel like I still got it. After somebody leave you and you break up and you try to... just heal your emotional pain by going to people who do want to be with you. So that was good for them back 10 years ago. That wouldn't be good for now because most of those spots in me are healed. So that wouldn't be good for me. Of course, I'm sad about everything that happened a couple months ago. But the reality is, I'm not in that type of need now. I'm not desperate. See, I was desperate back then. I didn't have the education or the mental health or none of that information, and I didn't know what to do with myself except go around people who wanted to be around me. But that became painful too, because after you do what you got to do with the person, then they leave you and you right back in the same place. So I thought about that last night. I said, I don't want to go back to that type of experience. I don't want to be your one night stand or, the person that you can call on when your when your woman ain't doing you right. I don't want to be that type of woman. I got standards now, and I want to uphold those standards. I don't want to ever put myself in a position where I feel obligated to be sexual to you, to be emotional to you, to be your dumping ground. Never again do I want to suffer through that, because although about 15 minutes of my time was good, the rest of the time I was spent with people, it was horrible. Truth be told, my time is just as valuable as anybody else's time. And for all these years, I shared my time with so many people. Young and old, addicted and non-addicted, church folk, bootleg folk, anybody, drug addict folks. I spent my time out there. I was out there, and I shared my time unapologetically, And I enjoyed sharing my time with others, even though I was getting treated like crap. That was just who I was in that moment. I was desperate to share my time with people who didn't really like me, didn't really care nothing for me. I'm not desperate now to share my time with anybody. I'm enjoying what I'm doing now. I feel like I'm on the good side of life now. And then let me clear that up. I'm on the good side of life because of my mental, how I handle things mentally and spiritually. Not because I'm not going through anything or challenges are not hitting me, but because I'm a lot more seasoned now in that area of being let down and disappointments. So I don't take anything to heart. I'm quick to forgive, slow to anger, and we're still working on some parts of the slow to anger. But for the most part, I catch myself if I do get out of hand, and I bring it back home and realize I'm no better than the next person. And instead of me trying to judge what somebody else is going through, maybe that's a sign that I need to go see about what's going on with me. I'm not desperate. That's what I'm saying. I'm not desperate to spend my time with anybody. If someone truly wants my time and they truly value me and they love me in a way that no matter what somebody says about me, that they still love me, they still want to spend time with me, they don't want to play no mind games with me. If they about that, they don't even mind spending money on me. I don't have to tell them what I need. They can look at me and be like, I know what I want to get her. They would know what I love just by how I talk. Like flowers, butterflies. They will know me. Not by what society has told them about me or some app has sent them a message, she's doing this or she's doing that. They will know my spirit. And my spirit is with God right now. And I tell you, I had I'm not even going to tell y'all what happened. No, I'm not going to tell you because that's that secret place that they say don't talk about except with God. So I'm going to leave that. But I just want y'all to know that you don't have to share your time with people who don't care and appreciate you. Now, there will be times and seasons when you do, but once that season is up, don't look back. Don't go back thinking that the fruit gonna be better. It's not. It's gonna be bitter. It's gonna be worse. And I think about that a lot of times when I did meet guys on the chat line, and when I was I really wanted to get back at my ex so bad. I wanted to prove to him that you're not the only one that I can get. That's the type of mentality that I had. And he had the same type of mentality. We were actually good for each other. He just wouldn't do the right thing. I mean, no, wait, hold up. We were good for each other, but we were so prideful. Okay? That's what happened. We were so prideful that he was so prideful, he didn't want to get a divorce. He didn't want people to know that he was paying for a divorce. So he was prideful on that end. And on my end, I was so prideful, I didn't want people to know that I was being used the way I was being used, and things weren't all good. I was ashamed because things were not all good. And that's why I stayed in those situations. However, I'm glad that my life went the way it went because I know better now. And I know that if you can get me to smile and blush and, you flatter my heart a little bit, just understand I'm not going to go by my heart or by my emotional feelings. I'm going to go by the truth. And the truth is, most of all the guys that I talked to was trying to get to know on a romantic level, really did not cut the cloth. Really did not. But because I didn't know how to let go, that's the only reason why they were still in my life. Excuse me, y'all. At that moment, I'm tired. But now, I am to the age, it's not age, I gotta say maturity. Now I'm in the maturity of, I don't think you're all that great. I mean, I'm for real. I'm not putting nobody down. You may be great for somebody else. You're just not great for me. I saw how I was being treated. I refused to go lay up with anybody that cannot come and help me get my water back running. You can't help me get my water back on. You can't help me fix my home. You can't give me a flower every now and then. You can't give me a hug unless you want to do something. I'm not dealing with that. No. There's somebody out there that can do exactly what I want. I got them before, and I can get a better person this time. One who's 100% in it and not just, one side. Yeah, one side. But I plan on not falling prey to the singlehood. You can be single and don't have to do all that stuff that let people pick on you. That's the best thing that you can do, is let people pick on you, mock you, but don't be deceived by them. I don't want to lay down and sleep with any man who I cannot trust to do the right thing for me if I'm ever in an emergency or crisis. And what do I mean by that? If I can't put your name down as my emergency contact, then you ain't got no business contacting nothing on my body. And I don't care what the world and society says, but the truth is, all them years I was out there, I could never put, the only emergency contact I could put down was family members. The whole time I was in that 17-year relationship, I couldn't even put the man down name for emergency contact because he wasn't stable. He wasn't stable-minded enough to realize that I needed him as a contact. I should have been able to put him down on my kids, be able to check my kids in and out of school. I couldn't do that. I don't want to go back through that, playing house with somebody. Whoever get me, they got to be willing to go all the way. I should be able to put your name down in case of an emergency. You can make a good decision on my behalf if I can't make a good decision. You can receive my test results, and I can trust you not to go tell nobody what my test results say because you love me and we in this thing together. But I'm not laying down with nobody that can't do that. If you can't be that part for me, be that strong for me, be that trustworthy for me, I'm sorry, single life it is. I'm not missing out on anything because at the rate STDs are going up, I'm not missing out on nothing at all. But I thought about that thing because the past been calling me back. It's like ever since my ex died, it's people, well, not people, but it's guys that I, kind of had a thing with, talk to some of them and, try, just, it's guys from the past. It's like once they find out my ex was gone, now they want to shoot their shot. And I'm not feeling that. Because you can't even bring me a soda without having to say, without you having to pay somebody to bring you to do that. And that's not a bad thing if you do got to pay somebody to bring you somewhere. Because, if you would ride in a taxi, you still have to pay. That's not a bad thing at all. So don't get me wrong on that. I'm still humble. I'm not looking for the perfect man who got his own everything. But I'm looking for a man who knows how to lead without me having to jump in and say, well, I do this, I do that. I don't want that. That took my life away. I had to learn who I was after I came up out of that relationship. So no, I don't want no sex. I don't want a dude using up my time just to satisfy their ego. And men are ego driven, but there's some humble men out here too who know how to treat a woman and who knows how to be there for a woman. And who knows how to stick around doing good time and bad time. You gotta think, I got conditions. I can't trust everybody with me. But yeah, so that's what was on my mind for today. It's just that if the past calls you, you do not have to answer it. I know we can pick up where we left off at, because I don't think there was too much of anybody that if I left you, I didn't leave you fussing and arguing. I left you in a good place, a good state of mind. That's where the way I left you. And even if you did me wrong and I knew you did me wrong, I didn't leave you fussing with you. I didn't leave you trying to change you and make you a better man for me. I didn't do that. I just walked on. I just left. I didn't want to cause no trouble. What Prince say? I ain't never mean to make you I didn't never mean to cause you any harm. I didn't want to do any of that. I'm really gentle in those areas. And in some cases, I love so hard and connect so easy that I walk away just because I know I'm not finna be good at that. Because I'm going to be clingy. I'm going to be, in some cases. Not all cases. Now, it just depends. If I'm around somebody, once I drop my guard down a little bit for somebody, that means I have a true, genuine care. But some people, my guard never dropped down and I was hanging around them. And that was the time I should have not been hanging around them, because I couldn't even feel emotionally safe around them. Y'all, the past don't got nothing for us. If the man was with us back then, or a woman was with you guys, because I know guys be listening to my podcast. Y'all guys, thank y'all. But I if y'all didn't do anything for each other back in the past, what's changed now? What can you do for each other now that you did not do back then, besides have good sex? You can get good sex almost anywhere. Just teach them what you like. So what's changed with that person? Is that person willing to be a consistent partner, a committed partner? What's changed? Because if ain't nothing changed from back then, you're just going to keep on playing these games with yourself. And I don't see what you're going to benefit from. You may have temporary satisfaction, but no, it's just not worth it. Anyways, stay out that past. You don't want to turn to a pillar of salt. You don't want to go back to depression, anxieties. You don't want to go back to sex addictions and being somebody's sex slave and what else? Somebody's entertainment. I was entertainment to a lot of people. They never looked at me as a real person, and I felt it in some ways. I felt isolated. I felt like they wasn't on my level and I wasn't on their level. But when I would come around, because me and my ex would fuss so much, we were entertainment to them. They didn't look at us as real people. We were just looked at as entertainment. They look at us as having feelings and stuff. And every time I look back last night. I wasn't intentionally looking back. I just was trying to delete pictures and things and try to get my phone cleared out. And when I was looking at those, every time I look at that picture of my ex laying in that hospital bed and laying in his bed with his head covered up, I said, dang. Only difference was, he spent his last 10 years mostly in bed sick and, out doing what he do with, his drugs and things like that. And I spent my last few years, just trying to build my career up. And then I hit my sickness too, where I spent a lot of days in bed. I looked at that and I said, that something wasn't right about that at all, for him or for me. Because when we were together, we were such lively people. We were lively. We always kept something going, the good and the bad. But yeah, just know that your past can show up, but you don't have to answer to it. And I think the best thing I can do is keep moving forward. I'm at the best years of my life, which is the upper years of my life. And another thing I started laughing about this. I don't know why I was thinking I was up in my 50s and 60s. I said, girl, you better get back and enjoy the last of these 40s. This your last year in the 40s. 49. I said, I am still in my 40s. Why I'm trying to act older. So yeah, just come back down to home. Get humble. Chill yourself down. And stay up out of your past. And that's all I gotta say. Peace, love, and happiness. I don't know why I say that. Listen, I really do wish you peace, love, and happiness. But I also wish you go over there to my TikTok shop. It's Jamie the Advocate. In my showcase, I have lots of products that are 60 to 75% off right now. And this is the Black Friday sale. All the products are new, not used, not refurbished, none of that. Everything is new, straight out of the box. And if you watch my videos, you'll see that I use a lot of the products that I show. I got some good ones. Ooh, excuse me. I just finished doing some videos, and I'm going now to get back to work on finishing up videos, because I'm going to be posting until Christmas. I'm going to be working. That's why I'm not going to get in my past. Instead of going back to the past, reminiscing, I'm looking for the future. Look, I want me a bigger home too. No, do I? No, if I do want a bigger home, but if I can't get a bigger home, I want the home I got fixed. I mean, I will settle for the home I got fixed and to get my living room looking like a living room, because I got product everywhere. And I don't know. God is just doing some beautiful things. And I can't step back, not even for a second. I can't even look back for a second to think about how good things were when I know God is blessing right now. I got to keep my eyes forward on the prize. I don't know when He's going to send my husband, but I definitely know who ain't my husband. If you already a married man, you not my husband. And I did ask God for me to send me somebody who's not being married. That's what I asked for, because I don't want that insecure. I know I was finna get off, y'all, but this here coming back up. But I don't want to feel... I don't want to feel the way I felt when I was with my ex. 17 years, and I didn't know he was... I thought he was divorced. I was told he was divorced, and come to find out he wasn't divorced. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to date like that. That was somebody else's man, and that's why I went through so much trouble, because if he had really been mine, we wouldn't have went through all that. And I don't want to go through that again. So I'll be automatically knowing that if I talk to a guy that's being divorced, it's probably on a friendship level, and nothing else is really probably going to evolve from that. Because unless you're a widow. Now, if you're a widow, that's a different story. But other than that, I want a man who ain't never had no papers. And I pray that's what who God sent me, is someone who ain't never had no papers. I don't mind them having children, but the wife, I can't go back through that again. I was telling somebody I got one good relationship left in me. Maybe one or two. I don't know. But what I don't have is tolerance for somebody to use me. Emotionally, financially, or sexually. That's what I don't have tolerance for. And that is why I'm choosing wisely this time. I don't care how good of a time we had. That was the key word, is had. If I would have been that good to you and you would have really cared for me like that, we'd still be together. The fact we not, that tell me a lot right there. So only to get back with you, I'm going to be wasting my time again. I'm looking for husband. Husband. I'm waiting for a husband. Now, when I say looking, that means I'm putting myself out there where I can be seen. You know that Ruth was found working. So he may find me in my work. I'm putting myself out there through my works that I am doing, not through just running around trying to be like, hey, look at me, I'm single. Nope. And not through sleeping with everybody, testing the waters out. No, I'm not doing that. I don't want no bacterial vaginosis, no HPV. I don't want none of that mess that these brothers is carrying. These, not only brothers, but Caucasians, Hispanics too, that are carrying these days. I don't want none of that stuff. So I'm gonna keep right on doing what I'm doing, which is working, taking care of myself. I got a whole big responsibility here that people don't see, that's behind the scenes. I still have responsibility, and that's beautiful. I have stuff my mom and dad got me watching over. I have my grandchildren that's in my life. I have my children that's in my life. Now, they don't always be, but as their mother and grandmother, I still have responsibilities. Now listen, this ain't man-made responsibility. This is God-given responsibilities. And if I take care of my God-given responsibility, that means I ain't got time to be out here playing around with others, letting them waste my time, use and hurt me, emotionally abuse me, where I be walking around depressed, sick, gaining a lot of weight, in pain, chronic pain and all that. You know, that's what all that come from, being with the wrong people. The wrong person can break your life down. I don't see it. And you know what? I think I really need to cut just that. Maybe I should cut those people off that's from the past. You know, just say hey and all that. And, you know, I'm a hey, how you doing? And let the other conversations, you know, don't even answer back on some conversations. Okay, peace, love, and happiness. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, check me out on TikTok, Jamie the Advocate. Go to my profile and check out that showcase.